Sometimes the person who thinks about you the most is the one acting the calmest. They do not always chase. They do not always text first. They do not always show emotion. But somewhere in the quiet moments of their day, your presence keeps returning. Not because you forced it. Not because you begged for attention. Not because you tried to become unforgettable. But because something about your energy left an open loop in their mind. And this is where most men misunderstand attraction. They think being remembered comes from doing more. More messages. More compliments. More availability. More explaining. More proving. But many emotionally mature people are not drawn deeper by pressure. They are drawn deeper by presence. By the feeling that you were real, but not desperate. Warm, but not needy. Interested, but still centered. There is a difference between being seen and being everywhere. One creates curiosity. The other creates fatigue. Think about the man who enters a room and does not need to dominate it. He is not loud. He is not performing. He is not scanning for approval. He speaks calmly. He listens fully. He laughs without forcing it. And when he leaves, people remember the way they felt around him. That is powerful. Because attraction often grows in the space after the interaction. Not during the show. After. When the room gets quiet. When the phone is in someone's hand. When they replay your words. When they wonder why your calmness felt different. One common pattern in attraction is this: people often remember the person who made them feel something without trying too hard. Not the person who explained their value. Not the person who begged to be chosen. The person who carried quiet certainty. Because certainty is rare. A lot of people walk into connection with hidden fear. Fear of being ignored. Fear of not being enough. Fear of losing the moment. So, they rush. They overtalk. They overgive. They try to secure the connection before it naturally grows. And without realizing it, they remove the mystery. But when a man is comfortable with himself, there is space around him. He does not rush emotional closeness. He does not panic when replies slow down. He does not turn one good conversation into a performance. He allows connection to breathe. And that breathing space creates thought. Here is the strange part. People often think about what they cannot fully place. Not confusion in a toxic way. Not games. Not manipulation. But healthy curiosity. They ask themselves, why did he feel so grounded? Why was he kind, but not chasing? Why did I feel safe, but also challenged? Why did his silence not feel weak? That is when someone starts thinking about you without being pushed. Because your energy did not demand attention. It invited reflection. And reflection is more powerful than pressure. A needy man tries to stay in someone's mind by staying on their screen. A grounded man stays in someone's mind because his absence still has weight. That does not mean ignoring people. It does not mean acting cold. It means your life does not collapse when attention is not returned instantly. That kind of emotional stability is deeply felt. Especially by someone who has experienced chaos. When a person has been around unstable energy, they notice calm energy. They notice consistency. They notice emotional control. They notice when you do not punish them for being busy. They notice when you can express interest without losing yourself. And sometimes, they do not understand it right away. They only feel it later. Maybe they are driving. Maybe they are getting ready for bed. Maybe they see something that reminds them of your conversation. And suddenly, you are back in their mind. Not because you forced a memory. Because you became associated with a feeling. That is the real secret. People do not only remember your words. They remember the emotional state you created. Did they feel judged? Did they feel pressured? Did they feel like they had to perform? Or did they feel calm, seen, and respected? In healthy attraction, emotional safety matters. But emotional safety alone is not enough. There also has to be aliveness. A little tension. A little mystery. A feeling that there is more to discover. This is why the most memorable men are not the ones who reveal everything too quickly. They do not turn the first conversation into their whole life story. They do not explain every scar. They do not confess every feeling before trust exists. They reveal themselves with rhythm. A little depth. Then space. A little humor. Then calm. A little interest. Then self-control. That rhythm creates emotional movement. And emotional movement keeps the mind engaged. Because the mind returns to what feels unfinished. Not incomplete in a painful way. Unfinished in an interesting way. Like a good song that ends too soon. Like a sentence that almost revealed something. Like a look that said more than words. This is why restraint can be attractive. Not fake restraint. Not pretending you do not care. Real restraint. The ability to feel something without spilling it everywhere. The ability to want someone without making them responsible for your worth. The ability to connect without needing control. That is rare. And rare things stay in the mind. Many men lose this without noticing. They meet someone they like. Then suddenly, their entire energy changes. They become too available. Too agreeable. Too careful. Too afraid to disagree. They laugh at things that are not funny. They cancel their own plans. They make the other person the center before trust is even built. And the emotional balance shifts. What started as attraction turns into pressure. Not because they were bad men. But because they abandoned themselves too quickly. And when you abandon yourself, people can feel it. They may not say it. But they feel the shift. The confidence fades. The mystery disappears. The calm becomes anxiety. The connection becomes performance. And suddenly, they stop wondering about you, because you are no longer a person to discover. You are a person trying to be chosen. That is the turning point. The person they cannot stop thinking about is usually not the one trying hardest to impress them. It is the one who makes them feel like connection is welcome, but not required for survival. That energy is different. It says, I like you. But I still have a life. I enjoy your attention. But I do not need to chase it. I can be warm. But I will not beg. That balance creates respect. And respect gives attraction something to stand on. Without respect, attraction becomes shallow. With respect, attraction gains memory. This is also why emotional control matters so much. Not the cold kind. The mature kind. When something small happens, you do not explode. When plans change, you do not become dramatic. When someone takes time to reply, you do not send 5 messages trying to recover control. You stay composed. You communicate clearly. You do not punish. You do not chase. You do not disappear to manipulate. You remain steady. And steadiness is memorable because it makes people feel they are dealing with someone solid. A solid man does not need to be mysterious on purpose. His self-respect creates mystery naturally. Because people wonder what his inner world looks like. What shaped him? What gives him that calm? Why does he not react like everyone else? Why does he not need applause? That is when attraction becomes deeper than appearance. Looks may get attention. Charm may create a spark. But emotional depth keeps someone thinking. Because depth gives the mind somewhere to go. A shallow person can be exciting for a moment. But a grounded person becomes a question. And questions stay. There is also something powerful about being selective. Not arrogant. Selective. When your energy shows that you do not give full access to everyone, people value the access more. When you have standards, your attention means something. When your time has purpose, your presence feels heavier. When your compliments are honest and not constant, they land deeper. This is why over-complimenting can weaken impact. If every message is praise, praise becomes background noise. But when a grounded man notices something specific, something real, something others miss, it stays. Because it does not feel like a tactic. It feels like attention. And real attention is rare. For example, saying, "You're beautiful," may be nice. But noticing how someone carries responsibility quietly, or how their humor hides intelligence, or how their calmness changes the room, that can stay with them longer. Because it touches identity, not just appearance. People remember the ones who saw something deeper. They remember the ones who made them feel known without being exposed. That is emotional intelligence. Not reading someone to control them. Understanding enough to connect with care. And in female psychology, one commonly observed pattern is that emotional memory plays a strong role in attraction. The interaction may end. The conversation may stop. But the feeling continues. If your presence created ease, curiosity, respect, and emotional tension, your absence does not erase you. It amplifies you. But only if the connection was real. Because fake mystery feels empty. Fake confidence feels loud. Fake indifference feels immature. People can sense when someone is acting unavailable to gain power. And that usually creates distrust. The real power is not pretending you do not care. The real power is caring without losing control. That is the line. And it changes everything. Because when you can care calmly, you become emotionally safe and emotionally attractive at the same time. You do not overwhelm. You do not disappear. You do not perform. You show up with presence. Then you return to your life. That makes your presence valuable. And your absence meaningful. This is why purpose matters. A man with purpose does not have to manufacture distance. His life naturally has movement. He has work. Goals. Health. Friendships. Faith. Discipline. Responsibilities. Things that existed before attraction appeared. So, when he connects with someone, it feels like an addition to his life, not an emergency. That difference is felt immediately. Someone can feel when you are trying to make them your whole world too soon. And someone can feel when your world already has structure. Structure creates calm. Calm creates trust. Trust creates depth. Depth creates memory. And memory becomes the reason they think about you later. Not constantly. Not obsessively. Not in some fantasy way. But naturally. They remember your voice. Your timing. Your self-control. The way you did not need to win every moment. The way you listened. The way you made space. The way you did not fold under silence. And then comes the unexpected realization. They are not thinking about you because you played a perfect strategy. They are thinking about you because you did not abandon your center. That is what many people are drawn to. A person who can enter emotion without drowning in it. A person who can show interest without becoming desperate. A person who can be kind without becoming weak. A person who can be masculine without becoming harsh. That is rare balance. And balance is unforgettable. So, if you want to become the kind of person who stays in someone's mind, stop asking how to make them think about you. Ask a better question. What do they feel when they are around me? Do they feel pressure, or peace? Do they feel chased, or chosen? Do they feel like I need something from them, or like I am sharing something solid within myself? Because the mind returns to emotion. And the heart remembers energy. The people who cannot stop thinking about you are often not thinking about what you said. They are thinking about who they became for a moment when they were with you. And when your presence makes someone feel calm, curious, respected, and alive, you do not have to live in their phone. You already left a room inside their mind.